Hi, my name is Jake, and this is me in 2005 with my son Marlon. Marlon was born with a genetic condition. After months in hospital, we were finally allowed to take him home. 2 weeks later, he died. My marriage fell apart. I'd lost everything, became defined by my grief. A few years ago, I was lucky enough to go to a retreat called The Bridge, and it changed my life. So I was inspired to make this film about people brave enough to go on a journey, to conquer their own demons.
What I'm hoping to get out of this is to not be so governed by my past.
I want to connect with the pain around the grief that I carry.
I'm here because the outside world can say something or do something and reduce me to a 4-year-old.
I would really like to be me.
I'm feeling anxious and super nervous. I'm hoping to get some release from this.
Trust is a big issue with me, but I sometimes think maybe it's about trusting myself.
I felt like most of my life had been a pointless waste of time.
Here you are, you 12, who have been courageous enough, ready enough, whatever is true, to kind of go, no, I need to be here for whatever reason, and we'll be finding that out along the way. Thank you so much for being willing to embark on a week that most of you don't know really what it entails. Gabby and I are the facilitators of The Bridge for your week here, and we really encourage you to start to let your masks drop.
We really trying to create a very safe container here so that you feel safe enough to do it. The nervousness, the anxiousness, the uncertainty, maybe feeling, am I in the right place here? What have I let myself into? All these thoughts. And then beyond that is a part in you that is so ready and so really willing to do this. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here. So we're trusting more and more that part that brought you here. That's my invitation, that's my hope for you.
What happened to you that made you inadequate, less than, invisible, betrayed, abandoned? You grieve the wounds of you. You welcome them in. Emotional orphans. They're like parts of yourself that you need to grieve and then say, you're welcome here. And that is about authentic living. All parts of me are welcome.
What we're going to do now is we invite you to take a very courageous step to be standing up. So we're on the bridge, we are going back into the past. When you come forward, you're going to pick up one of the stones, and that is representing that grief situation that you're going to share with us.
My name is Sarah. And I'm about 6 or 7. And I'm really angry. And I'm trying to hang myself with my hairband off my bunk bed. And I'm just so angry. I can't even articulate it properly.
You're so angry. Who and what are you angry with?
I think my mum. I just wanted to get away. I wanted it to be over. I really meant it. I didn't even know suicide or the consequences of that. And as an adult now, that poor little girl. I think I'm still angry.
And you were just a little girl. Just a little girl. You needed her to love you. You needed her to love you. And to show you love and to love yourself.
When my mother died, she was about 86. And she'd been moved out of her home into a care home, and she was separated from a piano for the first time in her life. And before I could get to see her, she died. I kept telling the staff at the care, please try and get her in front of a piano, because that's what she needs. That's what keeps her going.
Hello, my name is Meg. Every week the teacher called me up, and I tried and I tried and I tried, but I just couldn't read the words on the page. She used to take her keys off her strap and strap my hand and tell me that this would put some sense into me and make me a better reader. She'd then set a stool in the corner of the room and give me the dunce's hat to wear. And the worst thing was that when I went home and said how awful my day had been, my parents just didn't take any notice. So I'm really glad I could share that with all of you.
Thank you, Meg.
Put that in there, get rid of it.
It's an ancient, I guess, sort of music instrument. Music is really important to me. And I'm drawn to the primal aspects of it. And whenever I look at it, I think of my African heritage and my ancestors, and it just feels really, really solid and grounding.
Lovely.
I have very few things left of my mother's, and this is one of them. I have some jewelry, some costume jewelry, and some books. But this is my favorite. I don't know why, it seems like timeless grace, and it seems very delicate, but it's actually really hard metal, and I don't know how old it's got to at least be 50 some years old, and I think it looks as beautiful as it did probably the day she bought it. So it represents a lot to me.
Thank you very much.
So my name is Rochelle. I don't know where to start this. So as a kid, I was sexually abused. But the main part of the story that I wanted to share was that the point of which it all ended and the police came and try not to cry. So the story is at 16 when the police came and everything happened, and they wanted to take my mum out of the house. And
So they were about to take your mum away.
So basically they found a women's refuge for my mum to go to. And my mum said to me, you need to come. And I said I didn't want to go with her because she was kind of part of the problem. And she said, okay. And she just left me in the house with the person who was... So I stayed there. And obviously it continued to happen until that person went to prison. And I just felt like, why does she keep leaving? I don't know.
How did that feel, Rochelle? You needed her there, didn't you? Yeah. Thank you very much. So this is our darkness, this is our pain, but also your objects of beauty are there. To remember that there's the pain and there is the beauty as well. They coexist. Very often in our culture and the way we were brought up is to look at life in a linear way. Meaning, if I do A, it will lead to B, it will lead to C, and then I will reach my goal over there, and then I'm done. And that often leads to frustration. And I've heard it already from quite a few of you yesterday, where you said, I've done all this work, and I'm still should be over there, but I'm not. And it's because we have that linear way of thinking and looking at life. So if I can step out of that way of seeing life, to be in a circle and see it like this, yeah, it really brings a lot of peace to the mind. I can surrender myself to my life's journey.
I picked this buttercup. I just was attracted to it because of the colour. I'm really drawn to yellow at the moment, so it's strong and beautiful as well.
I thought it looked rather dull and lifeless, and I thought, I can relate to that, you know. Sometimes you feel all the life is drained out of you, but there's still so much there. It's always there and available to you.
One of the key ways that we experience loss in life is a loss of innocence. A loss of never receiving or hearing the words, I love you just as you are. The huge loss in that. It's devastating. All of these heartbreaks that we all carry, big and small, are queuing up inside us patiently, waiting for us to grieve them, to honour them, to come back for them. If we heal our hearts and then we go out into the world and we are a little bit more with our mojo, we're a little bit more our true self, we're a little bit more compassionate, that is healing in action in the whole world.
Anger, and some of you, again, touch into what comes up for you when I say this word, anger. How was it displayed when you were a child?
Well, my mum was just like hysterical, kind of screaming and attacking me, and my dad would be like raging, punching things.
So there was a lot of outward expression of anger.
Well, I was absolutely terrified.
And imagine this is about children we are talking about here. Huh? A child, and it is your parents. And that brings up some feelings there. So what are you feeling right now?
Sad.
You're feeling sad for the child? Yeah, it is very sad. We're talking about a little girl.
My mother was always very angry. So whenever I did anything that was wrong, you know, I'd get beaten or slapped. And so I felt like I was always walking on eggshells, like I must not disrupt the volcanoes.
And how do you do anger now, Ade?
I shut down.
Why do we have it as human beings? It is a natural reaction to a perceived injustice. If you think about an animal, let's say, well, a dog, you step on a dog's tail. What does the dog do? It goes like, wah! Yeah, it gives the message, this is a boundary, this hurts, please stop doing it. Does the dog hold resentment, grudges? Is it passive aggressive? No. It's just saying, please don't do that, and then it's forgotten. Resentment, is stuck up anger in our system when we weren't allowed to say, look, this isn't working for me. And for some of you, this is going to be just the beginning, is separate out what we call toxic anger towards healthy anger. Before we can move towards healthy anger, we need to get all that old anger out of our system. All the frustration, all the times when we couldn't say no. When we were kids, even like you were saying, you felt the anger, but you knew it wasn't okay to express it because there probably would have been punishment coming back towards you. So you learn to internalize it. So we need to let it out through the body.
You can be angry about whatever you like, what happened to you in the past, what's happened to you last week, what's going on in your life, the people, the places, the situations that have cost you dear in your life. Things that you couldn't express back then, you're going to release that now. Give yourself the space to do that. And then everyone, close your eyes. Connect to what it is that you need to say. See the faces of the people that have hurt you and betrayed you. You have a right to be angry.
This is the part that I was kind of dreading, really.
I really felt like a child, like I was crying like a baby.
I didn't want to do it. That's all I kept thinking was, I can't do this, I don't want to do it.
It was almost like this child just sort of emerged. And I'm so glad I was able to give that child that space.
It was a weird day so far.
Going to be writing a letter to this person that you choose for today. This letter is really from your wounded child. I'm going to represent the best part of the person that you're reading the letter to. It's just so your wounded child has a person to direct your letter towards. So can you just tell the group who it is that you're working with?
It's my mother.
Mother? Yeah. Okay.
I'm working with a condition I have called alopecia.
Okay. When you feel ready to begin, though, Carrie, you just close your eyes. And if it feels safe to do so, just see your mum there. And when you open your eyes with permission, I'm going to be that reflection, if you like, bearing witness to what you have to say. Only the goodness of her, not her darkness, Rochelle, just the good. So when you're ready to begin, just opening your eyes.
Dear Mum, I have many pleasant memories of the things we did together in my early years. But those awesome moments were overshadowed by the times you used to beat me.
My childhood felt like you hated me, like I was a burden, by beating me senseless when you lost control. Not only did I feel as though you hated me and that you didn't love me, I actually never learned to love you either. I don't ever remember being happy, not at home or at school.
My experience of losing all my body hair at 10 left me feeling lost, confused, broken, and damaged.
I wish I could have spoken up every time I felt that you violated me. I wish I felt powerful enough to use my voice. I wish I could have shouted at you and told you to just get it together and to stop feeling sorry for yourself. You made a decision to put me in harm's way by allowing me to be sexually abused for years as a sacrifice for your own salvation.
In a flash, home could be turned into hell. A scary place that I wanted to escape from.
My best friend at school told me that her mother had told her to stop playing with me because what I had might be contagious.
If I was washing my face I was scared she'd come up behind me and push my head in to drown me. I was scared of you. You got so angry with me over nothing. You didn't make me feel liked, let alone loved. When you did see me, I was annoying. A wee bitch, as you so regularly call me. Screaming at me for nothing.
I felt embarrassed as my mum struggled to find out what was wrong with me.
And it makes me so angry that I'm with a person who has been blessed with the gift of supporting, caring and nurturing a life would make such a heinous choice.
But it could have been those beatings that damaged my self-confidence. And I struggled to forgive you at the time.
You didn't question me, question why my vagina was sore, why it hurt to sit in the water. I told you it hurt and you just got angry. What I wish I could have said is just love me. I'm beautiful and I'm perfect. I deserve to be loved. Just love me.
Goodbye, sorrow.
I apologise to you from my heart as your mother, Rochelle. I'm so sorry. During those times when you couldn't accept me as your body, I really missed you. And I always loved you. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry that my parenting of you was confusing from those loving times to the beatings. I'm sorry that's cost you so dear in your life. I'm sorry of what I exposed you to, that I didn't protect you. That loneliness, that loathing that I planted inside you, I take it back. I take it back. Because it was never yours to carry. It's mine. I don't deserve to have a daughter as amazing as you. I really don't.
Just closing your eyes now and just feel the connection. By stretching out your arms or your feet, if you can make contact to the person nearest to you and really know this truth that you are actually never alone. So we really want to take, in this circle, the time to really reflect for a moment.
I think my main feeling is humbled by people sharing their stories with me.
It's a real privilege to be able to do this work and let stuff go, really let it go.
Well, the first word that came to mind was calibrating, but I don't know if that's a feeling or if that's
It's a sensation, maybe, yeah.
But it is like a sensation. Feels like some of the toxins have been filtered out.
Earlier was, I was really emotional. It was really scary to do it. And I think I feel quite proud of myself for what I did do, because I've never shared all of that with a single person, let alone a room full of people.
Before I had to talk, my throat closed up and I've never felt that kind of like block before. To stay in that and then be able to actually say what I needed to say
and come out of it the other side. I just feel grateful that that was kind of like allowed to have that space to do that.
You've done amazing work today. You really stepped into the unknown, didn't you? And you let yourself seen in very, very powerful, deep ways that, again, most of us are not used to. We know what often happens after a very deep emotional experience, yeah, is that the mind starts to kick in. It tries to gain power, yeah, the old ways. And what to watch out for mainly is the 3 thieves of joy: comparison, judgment, and expectations. So I hear this, we hear this all the time. All this monkey mind, yeah, gets busy, busy, busy. So just be aware of it. Shake it off. Breathe it through. Don't give it power. Thank you. Have a good night's sleep.
This is an important part of your own healing, is to understand cognitively why you've made perhaps some of the choices that you have, and also what you can do about it. When we are little, we need positive attention from our caregivers. We need them to see us, to notice us. Affection through touch and through words and through behaviour. We need acceptance as we grow up. As children, we need to be accepted for who we are in our own identity, as our personalities form, not as versions, mini versions of our parents or what they want us to be. We need appreciation, affirmation, encouragement to grow and expand our little beings. And we need allowance. Allowed to do what? Allowed to make mistakes. Allowed to be ourselves. These 5 A's are all the needs that we all share as part of being human, and as children we all need. So when you receive this consistent flow of the 5 A's, you build a strong sense of who you are. Makes sense, doesn't it? So it would therefore make sense that if you don't receive a consistent flow of the 5 A's, that you might struggle with identity issues. This course is about growing up. It really is. It's about saying, I take responsibility for my own life. And then the wonder of that is when we emotionally grow up, is the real playful side of you can come out. So yes, the grief work you do is heavy. It's necessary.
You're going to write another letter. You already, all of you, in your own ways, you're shifting from depth into lightness.
At 27, when I started to come to terms about being gay, my aunt said she felt she needed to tell me something. She told me that you did not want to have anything to do with me. She said you did not want me coming around to your house because you felt I might sexually molest your kids. I was heartbroken. What I needed from you was acceptance. I felt so utterly abandoned.
My experience of you as a father is absolute fucking terror. Me, your beautiful little daughter, was absolutely petrified of you. And you knew it.
What the actual fuck did you do to me? You evil fucking monster. How dare you enter into my life masquerading as a man of God when you were pure, raw evil. You would fight a little girl and I would fight a grown man. And my entire house would stay asleep. No one would ever come to rescue me.
Despite your leers, you made out my body was insufficient, saying I had nothing to hide as I had tiny tits. Who the fuck says that to their 11-year-old daughter?
What I need you to know is that it still hurts 23 years down the line.
I hate that now, as an adult, sex and intimacy scares the shit out of me. But you fucking monster, you took my voice away. I fucking hate you, and I always will.
I just feel it's a matter of time before some brave soul remembers and then decides to speak up. You're a fucking monster.
Fuck you, forever, Rochelle.
Goodbye, heartbreak. Goodbye, pain.
Just place your hand on your gut. Is that where you carry also your shame? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Be like tar.
Like tar, yeah. That is the shame of abuse placed inside you that does not belong to you. And you've been carrying it for such a long time, Rochelle. Feel my hand now on your heart, front and back. Say, imagine these hands represent your female lineage. And the many women that have carried their own shame and been abused and violated. Yeah, feel that. They know what you're going through, Rochelle. Yeah. Yes. Yes, they know. So if Eugenie and Andrea, if it's okay, and Carrie, if you just come, keeping your eyes closed, you're just going to surround Rochelle. Just feel that, Rochelle. The safety and comfort of women. Just let yourself, they're going to gently rock you, Rochelle. That's it. Yeah. Keeping your eyes closed, Rochelle, and the women are just going to stand behind you in like a line. How does that feel?
It was amazing. Lighter.
You look sweet. You look like the sweetness of you. You know, we spoke about the warrior stepping aside. And what I see is the sweetness of you stepping forward, Rochelle. So you might want to just turn and thank your female team. Going in for a group hug. I want you to put your arms up like a little child would and look up at your dad and say, I need you, Daddy.
I need you, Daddy.
Please take care of me.
Please take care of me.
Because I'm only small.
Because I'm only small.
Please stop hurting me.
Please stop hurting me.
I'm just a little girl.
Just a little girl.
I need your love.
I need your love.
As your father,
As your father,
I set you free.
I set you free.
And I release you
And I release you
from any vows you made to me,
from any vows you made to me,
consciously or unconsciously,
consciously or unconsciously,
to stay loyal to me.
to stay loyal to me.
How does that feel? Better, yeah. Is there anything you need to say to him? Just check for yourself.
I don't want to see you again.
Yeah, I don't want to see you again. I've got you. I've got you.
Dear Imogen, my daughter, my angel, and my nemesis. This is the hardest letter I've had to ever write. I don't know where to start, so I'll begin with the day you were born, because I know that's an auspicious day for you. After a long struggle that New Year's Eve, you arrived in the world and began a new life. Your first word was, hello. Both your mum and I heard you say that. From that moment on, I knew that you were going to be special. I remember the last question you asked me. It was, how do you cope? It was on Christmas morning, and I didn't have a simple, quick answer for that question. I said we needed to talk. We needed time. We needed to meet up and talk about it. I wish we had time. If you thought I didn't care, you were wrong. I did care. I just couldn't find the answer in time. I'm so sorry I failed you. I'm sorry for each and every moment in your short life where I could have made a difference, but failed to do so. It's too late now. Thank you for leaving your notebooks and songs behind. They're in good hands, and your story will be told. I honour you and the short journey we shared together. May we meet again, my daughter, my nemesis, my angel. Goodbye, Imogen. Your day.
Thank you, Mark. Thank you. How are you feeling, having read this letter to us?
Regret, if that's an emotion. Guilt.
Yeah.
Sadness.
Yeah. So regret and some guilt and straightforward sadness.
Well, a lot of guilt.
A lot of guilt. Yeah. So I am going to ask you if you would be willing to pick someone to represent your daughter, Imogen.
I'm going to pick Eugene.
I'm sorry I failed you as your father.
I'm sorry I failed you as your father.
Because a father's role is to keep his child safe.
Because a father's role is to keep a child safe.
And alive.
And alive.
And I couldn't do this.
And I couldn't do this.
And I'm really, really sorry.
I'm really, really sorry.
Tell him it's not your fault, Daddy. I had to go.
It's not your fault, Daddy. I had to go.
I am dead.
I am dead.
But you are alive.
You are alive.
Please do me the honour of living.
Please do me the honor of living.
Can you do that for me, Daddy?
Can you do that for me, Daddy?
Yes, of course.
Thank you. Just carry me in your heart.
Just carry me in your heart.
I will.
This ritual is really to honour you, as well as you honouring your loved ones for all the work you've done thus far. And so this, for us, marks a turning point as you begin to move forward in your life, carrying your losses, perhaps just a little bit more lightly.
Just imagine how often and how many times our ancestors have gathered around fires. And we have with us our letters. And just reflect for a moment how much of your grievances is in those letters. So this is an offering of your final act in this moment for here today, to symbolically let go of that grief, that pain, that abuse, whatever it is for you that is in these letters.
By letting go of these letters and throwing them into the fire, I am taking full responsibility for what's left of my life.
I'm taking full responsibility of my life.
Yes. I'm claiming full responsibility of my life.
Yes. I'm taking full responsibility for my life.
By throwing these letters into the fire, I'm releasing my grief and taking full responsibility for my life.
I'm going to stand up for this first bit. Because my feelings today are, I'm happy, I'm feeling glad, I've got sunshine in a bag. The future is coming on, it's coming on, it's coming on. That's how I feel today.
Beautiful. So yesterday was really intense and I wish I could find another word to describe it. I've been using the word intense a lot since I've been here.
I feel joyous. I feel lighter, and I feel very integrated. Actually, yeah.
And what I'm feeling now is huge sadness. I think what's really registering is the enormity of what I've been through. Like, preparing for the letter was really hard. Like, just writing that was really, really difficult. So I basically faced my greatest fear yesterday. And being involved in doing work with other people as well, I mean, that was amazing, because I think whenever I help people, I always give away something of myself. But actually yesterday was the first time I helped people and I got something.
For the first time since my daughter died, I actually shed a tear. Because up until now, I've incubated it, what's happened, and not accepted it. My initial reaction was, no. That's not true. I would not accept it. I was very adamant.
So those people who are sitting on the chair, you are, if you like, in the position of the wise adult. And then that person that's sitting on the cushions in front of you, what you are energetically representing in yourself is your child. So the young part of you that probably needed, well, definitely needed appreciations in your childhood. And for many of you, you didn't really get it. You didn't really get clean, clear, loving appreciation. And here's the thing, when you're on the cushions, you're going to be literally like a child and you're going to reach up your arms like, oh, give me appreciations. So you're going to reach and you're going to do this in slow motion. And again, we're going to explain, show you how it goes. But what you're really doing is reaching for love.
Lizzie, you are loved.
Jeannie, you are loved.
We're going on a little adventure. Sleeping in the woods, having a sleepover, something to do with sleep.
So this ritual offers you the opportunity to have two main experiences. The first is deep relaxation. The only time we'll wake you up is if you snore. The second part of this ritual is Gabby and I, will be coming to each of you one by one during this experience and offering you a hug. It's really sometimes helpful for people when we come to you to hold you, is to remember a time maybe when you were young and you really needed a cuddle. We just want to give you some love, holding you the way you needed way back when.
Yeah, sort of like it feels like I'm waking up from a slumber, from a trance.
I think I feel kind of like what Sarah said, like calm but also excited. I feel really good.
The first thing this morning, I felt really raw and vulnerable. Big scabs had been picked off me and didn't know what to think of it. was a pretty full-on day, so.
I've got a splitting headache, and apparently that's good. It's really alien to me. It is so alien. I'm happy giving, but receiving is just something I've never, ever had. And so thank you all for yesterday, because I shall remember that for the rest of my life. And what I'm going to do is have a great big sign in my room just to remind me you're fucking awesome.
What I'm taking away from this is a sense of hope. I think I had sort of given up before I came here. And you've shown me ways of dealing with stuff that I couldn't have done on my own. And what I've really appreciated is how powerful the process is when you connect with other people and when you pay attention to their stories and what they have to deal with as well, that we're not alone with our individual monsters, that we all have this in common. Thank you.
I am taking away a sense of wholeness as well, and just like this complete, I feel, I don't know, dare I say full?
I'm also grateful that I got ill, because if I hadn't got unwell, I wouldn't have found all of the things that I needed to find, and I think I had to get to that point before I could do this. So yeah, I'm grateful for that to make me keep going this healing journey. Thank you. Thank you.
I am taking away, a sense of integration, a sense of embodiment. You know, it feels like all my emotional orphans have come home, and home for a change has been very welcoming. And I'm grateful for my partner Amito. And yesterday, while lying in my bath, I suddenly thought, I want to get married to him.
Thank you for sharing that. Beautiful. Thank you, each one of you, for sharing your authentic self, to really share so meaningful things with us yet again.
So what you've also been practicing this week is the capacity to give and receive love. To start to meet your unmet needs from childhood, the 5 A's basically. So as Meg shared with us so beautifully, very used to giving love, and it feels very alien to some of us to receive love. Finding the gold in our losses, our pain, our heartache. You know, some of you shared so beautifully, and accepting what has happened to you has brought you here. You wouldn't have had this experience, you wouldn't have been in this room. I wouldn't be in this room if I hadn't have suffered. And then the final bridge is moving more and more from ego-based living, me, win, better than, less than, competing, judging, inflated or deflated ego place, into spirit-led living. What does that mean? Your true self, what we all share. And so I really hope and pray for you all that you go forward from this experience and you continue to work on yourself so that you can stay awake.
We all have our own grief. It might be related to different stories, different circumstances, but the essence of the feelings behind it is really unites us. You come here to shed your grief. And it is ready to go back, to be given back to the land now, symbolically. Woo. There it goes. Just letting it go. See yourself be cleansed. and the land receiving it through your work. And then on the count of 3 all together, we open our eyes. 1, 2, 3. The magic has happened. This is your quality that you've connected with on the evening of the first day. It's all yours.
I am playful.
I am joyful.
I am trusting.
Yes. I am bright.
Yes.
I am curious.
And then what I like you to do is let's take all our hands up. And now what we're going to do is we're going to turn around and we face outward. And then you let your hands go. And you see how does that feel. And now really with purpose and intention, I like you to take 1 step forward into your life. And maybe 1 more. Woo! Are we eager? Are we ready? Yes!
Satati panoi emzansi sawela peshea Vasbuza zivela pindu zivela zipuma pindu Satati panoi sawela peshea Vasbuza zivela pindu zivela zipuma pindu Iscata mia les Ingoma busugule Umbaqanga lo Ingoma busugule Iyole Goma busugule Goma busugule Satati panoi E oti sawe la peshea Baspuza zivela pindu zivela zipuma pindu Iscata mia les Ingoma busugule Umbaqanga lo Ingoma busugule